좋았어. 난 올해부터 영어로 말하는 사람이 될 거야. I am a boy, you are a girl. 잠깐만 유튜브 좀 보고 해야겠다. 지금 몇 시지? 뭐야, 벌써 1시야? 내일 해야겠다, 내일. A few months later. 뭐야, 벌써 12월이야? 내년에 해야겠네. 자, 여러분, 이거 왠지 소름 돋으면서 왠지 충분히 일어날 수도 있을 것 같은 그런 우리들의 미래 모습 아닌가요? 뭔가 조금 데자뷰 같기도 하고요. 네, 제가 지금 돌아보면요, 제가 영어 공부를 딱 마음먹고 해냈던 순간은 internal drive, 내적 동기보다 external drive, 외적 동기가 강하게 걸렸을 때였던 것 같아요. 그런데 그 순간과 과정이 두려워서 매번 미루던 것보다 예상외로 너무너무 재미가 있더라는 겁니다. 결국에는 만 된다면 올 연말에는 180도 바뀐 나의 영어 실력을 기대할 수가 있다는 거죠. 이거 제가 오늘 바로 알려드릴게요. 배움의 열정을 응원합니다. 영크리 영쌤입니다. 자, 여러분, 제가 유튜브를 통해서 우리 여러분과 함께 정말 엄청난 양의 영어 인풋 훈련을 하고 있는데요. 그와 동시에 소리내어 함께 말하면서 아웃풋 훈련도 함께 하고 있으니 이미 상당수 분들은 어느 정도 영어로 내 의사를 표현할 수 있게 되신 분들도 생겨나고 있는 것 같아요. 그런데 또 상당수 분들은 연초에 다졌던 영어 학습의 의지가 조금씩 꺾이면서 잠시 학습을 쉬고 계신 분들도 좀 있는 것 같아요. 그래도 최소한 제가 처음 영어 배우기로 마음먹었던 때보다는 훨씬 더 꾸준히 나날이 성장해 가고 계신 것 같아서 마음이 너무 좋은데요. 그런데 이쯤 들어서 한 가지 의문이 생기는 부분이 있다면, 내가 이 학습을 언제까지고 계속해서 해나갈 수가 있을 것인가? 라는 자기 의심이겠죠. 네, 아무리 올바른 방법으로 학습해서 어느 정도 말문이 트이더라도 이걸 내가 실제로 사용해 볼 데가 없으면, 내가 실제로 나아가고 있다는 확신이라는 게 들지 않는다면 이 영어 공부 의지력이라는 게 약해질 수밖에 없다는 겁니다. 아무리 새로운 학습법이 나오고 좋은 기술이 나와도 똑같다는 거죠. 그렇지 않나요? 챗 GPT로 영어 공부하기, 저 포함 많은 분들이 이미 소개해드렸던 것처럼 처음에는 반짝 이거 대박이다 하고 하다가 말죠. 자, 이거 왜 그런 거죠? 사람 대 사람 간의 meaningful interaction이 아니기 때문이라는 거예요. 제가 과거에 저희 동네 오락실 드럼의 1위 기록을 다 갱신하곤 했는데요. 근데 그러다가 실제로 합주에 나가보니 이게 웬일인가요? 박자는 왔다 갔다 강약 조절도 안 되고요. 어디에 끼고 빠져야 되는지 낄끼 빠빠도 모르고 완전 그날 밴드 합주를 망쳐놓고 말았는데요. 이거 영어도 똑같다는 거예요. 영어를 하나의 마스터해야 되는 시험 과목이 아니라 인간 대 인간으로서 나누는 의사소통의 도구로서 생각하기 시작한다면 결국의 본질은 내가 대화를 나누는 사람이라는 거예요. The most important thing for all of us to recognize is we need to learn how to communicate with people. Because most of us don't even know how to start a conversation. Just because you know how to speak doesn't necessarily mean you know how to converse with people. 이 사람이 관심 있어 하는 것은 무엇인지, 내가 관심 있어 하는 걸 이렇게 말하면 이 사람은 저렇게 말하는구나. 더 알아보고 싶다. 이 사람도 날 알아보고 싶은 건가? 다음에는 이렇게 말해봐야지 하는 이 긍정적이고 즐거운 감정을 언어 습득의 종착점이 아니라 과정 중에도 느껴야 되는 거예요. 자, 이렇게 나에게 의미가 있는 사람 대 사람 간의 대화, 이걸 바로 meaningful interaction 이라고 하는 것이고, 결국은 우리의 인풋 아웃풋 연습이 지향하는 최종 목표가 되어야 하는 것이죠. 저 또한 매일 하는 영어 공부가 그다지 즐겁지 않은 상황이 여러 번 생기거든요. 그때마다 계속해서 해주게 하는 것이 바로 이 원어민과의 실전 대화를 가능하게 해주는 플랫폼 캠블리예요. 난 너무 초보여서 무리야 하시는 초급자분들도 제가 실제 대화 예시를 바로 보여드릴 테니까요. 절대 겁먹지 마시고요. 한번 같이 보시죠.
Where you are, it's night, right?
Yeah, it's actually midnight, so I'm just wrapping things up. I actually have like a couple more things that I have to get done, but it's no problem.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it is 10 a.m. here in the U.S. So yeah, I'm still in morning time.
Yeah, did you have a cup of coffee?
No, I actually don't drink coffee. I'm a tea drinker.
Oh yeah, I think you said this like multiple times before. Sorry about this.
Yeah, I like to drink iced matchas. They give you like a lot of energy and they're so like healthy for you. Yeah, I'm not a coffee person. It really messes with my stomach and it makes me
so
like
you never really
jittery.
tried. Oh yeah, but that's what's supposed to happen when you drink coffee. I mean, that's what you call like caffeinated.
처음 영어 대화를 시도하면 할 말이 없죠. 우선 가장 간단한 시간, 날씨, 음식 얘기부터 하는 거예요.
But what do you put in yours? Like, do you sweeten yours? Do you drink it just black?
Yeah, just black. Cause I've heard somewhere too much sugar is not really good for you.
큰 의미 있는 말이 아니어도 돼요. 그냥 가벼운 얘기요. 이걸 스몰 토크라고 하죠. 한 번 더 보면
My God, it was Sunday. I thought it was like
Yeah.
Saturday or something like that. Oh.
Nope, your weekend's done.
It doesn't really mean anything
it's
anyways.
Sunday night. Yeah, I don't know what time it is in Korea. Is it like 10?
11 actually in the
11?
evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be sleeping right now. What about you? What time is it there?
It's only 2 p.m. So
Mhm.
it's in the afternoon. So it's 1400. Yeah.
시간이나 날씨같이 가볍고 사소한 공감대를 찾아보세요. 내가 완전 왕초보라도 걱정하지 마세요. 전혀 문제 안 되니까요.
Alright, I actually have a question. If I'm a beginner level, Cambly is something that I'm recommending to all of my students. It's really good way to be comfortable with conversational English, but they always ask me, like, I've never really done this before. So how is this gonna be? Let's say if I'm a beginner and we're having a conversation.
For one, to start, breathe. And you know that the teacher you are speaking with wants to speak with you and to be okay, because when we start practicing and talking, no pressure. I like to start with like small talk. So little things like, hi, how are you? The general questions. Where do you live?
I live in Korea.
Oh, I love Korea. Nice. So I like to ask them simple questions. Where do you live? Like, my name is this.
What if I make mistakes? I live in Seoul.
So you live in Seoul. I do the repeat method, language, the correct grammar. So if they say, I live it. ED is a very tricky one. People always say that. So like, I live it in Seoul. Like, oh, you lived in Seoul? Or, oh, I would just repeat it back. Like, oh, you lived in Seoul. Oh, that's
Oh.
So I always do the repeat back so people can like kind of catch it themselves, you know?
That's actually a really good method, really. Because like you don't even like need to explain the whole different concepts of past and things like that. Because when you repeat what I said automatically, oh, that's how you say it.
I do a little
That's really
acting.
올바른 문장을 직접 원어민이 친절히 말해주니까 그 자리에서 스트레스 없는 교정 청취가 가능해요. 그런데도 걱정이 되신다면
So maybe like it's more of a mindset. Maybe I'm not good enough, you know. I shouldn't be really talking to. I'm not really comfortable with my level of English and something like that. So what would you say to them?
Yeah, so some of the people that I've spoken to tell me that they aren't confident speaking English around native English speakers because of their lack of confidence. But like you said, it's your mindset. And when you start something new and you're a beginner, you know, your confidence is not going to be as high sometimes, and that's okay. Because when you're working on something, you are going to make mistakes. You know, that's part of learning. You're not always going to get it right, but the key to getting better is, you know, practicing. You can talk about topics and different things that you know so far, even if it's just like little things, you know, your favorite color or your favorite food, just the basics, so the other person can like guide you as a continuation to expand the conversation. That's exactly what it does. It boosts your confidence. Once you get past the beginner stage, you are able to increase your confidence. You will feel more comfortable having those conversations with native speakers and going to different parts of the world where English is mostly spoken.
Wow, you couldn't have said it better. Because that's exactly what I've been through. You know, like, because I was like this really shy. I couldn't even like look people in the eyes when I'm talking to people. That's how I used to be. But ever since I started like learning a foreign language, which is English and also Japanese, I start to understand like the different perspectives of different cultures. It's like, oh, this is how it's done in American culture. And oh, this is how it's done in Japanese culture. So I don't have to like jam myself inside this frame, this little frame of people's expectations in only South Korean culture. It's like, because that's different in different parts of the world. So that's one of the things I realized, like learning languages.
원래 틀리면서 느린 거예요. 아, AI 번역되는데 웬 영어 공부냐고요?
AI is just dominating the world. You could just translate everything just in a second instantaneously. Dude, do I even have to learn English right now? Because it seems to me everything is just translated. It's gonna be obsolete. The way you guys are learning things is gonna be obsolete. I could just, you know, bring my phone around and use AI. What do you think about like AI? Do we even like need to learn English aside from?
I mean, if you have a desire to learn any language, I think it is always going to be worth it to learn it, no matter what AI does. in its abilities. Your own unique expression is still your own unique expression. Your tone of voice, the sound that comes out of your mouth. I think there's still studies. Face-to-face interaction still releases a particular type of chemical that only gets released in our brains when we're actually talking face-to-face. That does not mean that we cannot have connection and build meaningful relationships with people via online. That definitely happens, but it also means that there's an importance to being face-to-face with people. And if you are face-to-face with someone and if you're using your phone to try to express, there's still this small barrier of the same type of what's released in that moment. Your vocal cords, the subtle little things of vibration, all of these things that play a part in how we connect to each other. And I would argue that if you truly want to connect with someone, speaking in real time is one of the best ways to actually connect with people. So let's put it like that.
Yeah, that's really true. Because like the other day I was watching like one of these like YouTube Shorts videos. I was watching it. There's like one of this AI generated short form videos of a Joe Rogan talking about Bigfoots and UFOs and like pyramids and stuff. It was so close that I couldn't even recognize it was made by AI. But at the end of the day, I wasn't really feeling the same intensity. So that's when I realized, oh, it's actually really different. Even if it gets to a certain like level of perfection in the near future, I mean, it's not gonna be the same.
Yes, you can use Google, you can use Translate and technology, but if you think about, sometimes the translator does not translate the same. It does not. And I've come across that situation. Sometimes the words just do not add up, right? So it's best to know it from a native speaker so they can correct you and they can tell you, different words and increase your vocabulary. And also in an emergency, you may not have time to, let me look this up. I wonder what she's saying. And clearly she's in pain, so I think everyone should learn another language.
Exactly. I mean, even if you're not there yet, it's like the technological sophistication is not there yet. It's definitely going to come in the near future, but you need to be able to converse in different like languages, because it also actually formulates the different perspectives. You know what I mean? It's like because the languages are like differently structured. When you speak in Korean, you tend to just hit around the bush a lot of times. But when you speak in English, you tend to be a little more direct. So you get to have this another level of understanding of the culture. Oh, that's why. So it's like this sharing of information, sharing of perspectives takes place when you start to learn another language, or even like get to know their culture.
Cultivating our five senses is also just as crucial as it is with our learning to adapt in this way of technology, because human beings are sometimes very slow to adapt and technology just goes, it moves way much faster than our ability to adapt. So it's good practice for us to keep trying to adapt to technology, opportunities for learning, all the things that it provides us. Still, can't beat five senses, can't beat the reasons why people like things like actually reading books, not just on our screens, turning the page. Like all of these things help with grounded and connectedness and different things. So it's good to have things that engage our five senses.
언어를 배우는 건 그 나라의 사람과 문화를 배우는 것이다. 그뿐만 아니라 또 다른 사고를 도입하는 하나의 매개체가 되어준다는 것이죠.
Like you said, it expands your mind, your perspectives, because you learn more about other cultures. And I've realized just from talking to students, there are certain countries that are much more competitive when it comes to learning another language or just learning in general. So I found that very interesting. So you both are learning together different aspects of different cultures.
I think that's actually one of the cool things about being on Cambly, because it's like you get to have this active conversation with the real person in real life in the world. And I'm a person who used to learn from like books, and I don't really read books, but I know that it's something that I'm supposed to do, so I do it anyways, but it's not fun for me. It's pain in the ass. But when I get to have a conversation, it's so much fun. Like learning English is not as difficult as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's awesome. And
자, 보셨다시피 내가 아무리 초급자인 경우에도 선생님이 내 페이스를 맞춰서 수업을 진행해 주시고요. 딱딱한 정답 맞추기식의 시험 영어를 공부하는 것이 아니라 선생님이 그에 맞춘 수준별 대화를 제공해 주는 겁니다. 이전에도 여러 전화영어 업체를 사용해 봤었지만 내 바쁜 스케줄에 맞춰서 수업을 진행할 수 있는 건 캠블리밖에 없었기 때문에 지금도 거의 3년이 되도록 캠블리를 쓰고 있는 것 같아요. 내가 원하는 수준이 여기까지인데 내 영어 수준은 아직 거기까지 안 되는 것 같으니까 전화 영어는 좀 이따 할래 하시는 분들도 계시거든요. 그런데 그중 대부분은요, 내가 원하는 실력에 어느 정도 도달했음에도 불구하고 본인은 모르고 있는 경우가 있거든요. 그래서요, 제가 이번에 한번 시도해 보시라고 구정맞이로 역대급 할인을 받아왔거든요. 보통 45% 정도 할인이 들어가는데요, 저희 영크릭 구독자분들은 50% 할인까지 제가 받아왔으니까요, 댓글란에 링크로 가입을 하셔서요, 꼭 코드란에 영크릿이라고 입력을 하시고요, 제공되는 혜택 받으셔서 이번에 한번 시작해보시고 영어 회화 실력 폭풍 성장하시는 한 해 되시기 바랄게요. 자, 이번 전화 영어 소개가 여러분 영어 실력 향상에 큰 도움 되시기 바라고요. 전 또 다음 영상에서 찾아뵙겠습니다. 감사합니다.
I am a boy,